let's see, ADOT Corporation. It's here it is. And there's probably another repo that just has the decoder source in it.
Look at that. That's awesome.
Yeah, so if you search around the repository, there should be like an MP3 decoder. Let's see, MP3. Okay, no, it's in there. Yeah, if you follow this, so it used a real-time operating system called ECOS, which was written by the guys who wrote. What is it called? What's it called? Let's see. I want to say it's by the GCC team. Do you have a hip zip?
I do. Right here.
Do you know? Have you seen that vid? What would be great is if you could video. There's an Easter egg in there.
Oh, okay.
Where you have to cycle through the buttons, and you have to go like up 5 times and down 5 times and enter. It's somewhere written online what it is. But then the screen turns into an animation of this daddy-o guy listening to music, and his head explodes. And then as blood is gushing out of his neck, it hits the screen, and then you can see all the people's names.
That's awesome. I'll have to figure that out.
It'd be cool if you could video that in high resolution and then put it on YouTube.
Yeah, no, I'll do that. That's awesome.
I want to say, let me see, hip zip, Easter. Is it? Okay, it looks like.
Oh, yeah, I see. Like a French video showing it, I think. Oh yeah, there it is.
It's on YouTube already?
Yep. Here, I'll send a link to you. That's cool.
Yeah, okay. 7 months ago.
My friend used to pay $160 for car insurance.
Really?
Now look how much.
Yeah, 7 months ago.
Most of
Go ahead.
Sorry? No.
Go ahead.
I mean, you think about like what really was sad was that like, yeah, it was just so much work trying to convince Microsoft, and then they came out with like the Pocket Media Center and Zune later, and like, I mean, maybe I hope they're a much different company today. Oh, and you have a.
I've got a couple different Pocket PCs laying around. I've got the first Compaq. I've got one of the later iPacs.
Yeah, so those compact iPacs, they use strong arm. They use a really, really awesome processor.
Yeah, they've got the biggest downside to them is that they don't have any sort of onboard expansion, and you need big stupid bricks to stick them in. But you know, then you could go and put a click drive in there and have.
Wow, you have all the stuff. That's
I have
awesome.
a problem.
I mean, that's awesome. I mean, I wish I threw that stuff out a long time ago. I have a Casio E100 box that has the media player on it. I don't even think I have a hip zip. Yeah, it was just.
I was looking for something. What have you got? Well, there's the Life Drive, which also has MP3 player codecability. But then here's like a HP 95LX,
Wow.
which is a DOS. Yeah. We have a problem. We have many problems. Many problems lie in the basement.
I went through all those machines, and I had code, C++ code that I would run all of it to time the processor, because like what I just shared with you, the people who Microsoft and B Squared who build the Windows CE, they just got paid a lot of money just to not give a shit or something like. But there was such a big disconnect between the processor companies, like how everybody understands today. You need to build a special purpose device that's streamlined for the solution that you want to. So when you look at these, that Rabbit,
that's what I was just thinking about.
Like that's duh. Mm-hmm. Then they're just like, we need to make it look like a PC, and then have these expansion things, and because Microsoft, nobody has the money to do any of this stuff. Microsoft is driving it, and everything has to be Win32. And the only reason for existing is the people programming Win32 on embedded devices. Yeah. And that's not like, I was arguing that like, you need to buy Daddio, give it away for free, and make everybody use Windows Media Audio. That's how you do it.
Yeah, no, that seems like the solution.
Right. Like people just want to put the pieces together, and they don't. And if it's between MP3 royalties or Windows Media Audio, and then you can encode it for free on the desktop, then you're going back to fighting with real networks, because when they came out with their jukebox, that really changed the mechanics. But all those machines, I ran code on it. I tested the processor, and I just tried to identify, like, I had to probe the processor for instructions of like where I can get extra compute from. Yeah. Because I don't know when you go down to that level, you have multiply, and it puts a result in a register. You have an addition, and then you want to do as many things in one cycle, and so. But sometimes the processor does weird shit, like move things to different registers in the middle of doing a bunch of math operations when you have enough registers to do it. And there's a bunch of timing things that you care about at the processor level. But that's cool that you have, and all that stuff still works.
Yeah, most of it.
I mean, I can imagine there's some mechanical pieces of it that degrade over time.
Well, surprisingly, the click drives hold up really, really well. I don't know if you remember, but like the internal construction of the hip zip is really, really nice. It's all modular. Like, I know on your blog you've got a picture of a board hanging out with a micro drive.
Yeah, that was our dev system. Yeah, when we're building it.
Well, that looks to me identical, like the board that's still in here.
Yeah, it is exactly.
But.
And it's stacked. I mean, and it's stacked because we separate the digital and the analog, so you get better audio.
Yeah, right? yeah. I noticed that, and it's little things like the battery isn't glued in place; it's mounted via clips, and the little rubber things on the side just peel off, and the door isn't held in with a bracket; it pops in and out. It's a very nice little gadget. I like it. I found a thread on Rockbox forums where people are trying to get it working with like a flash memory or a hard drive after the fact, and it sounds like it just works.
Yeah, it just works because it's just ATA commands. So
yes. It's just the 16-bit ATA commands. It sounds like the only problem was that it's hard-coded to 40 megabytes because it's expecting the little disks. But knowing that all that stuff is open source and on GitHub, I'm sure someone could.
Yeah.
Nowadays, that kind of takes away the magic from it, because then you just have a normal MP3 player.
But I mean, the tool chain. I mean, you have to imagine all the stuff like so long ago was like, it was super. Yeah, it was. I mean, it's a way different world today.
Well, it's funny because audio is almost a solved problem.
It's totally solved. Yeah,
like.